Here's a few movies to check out this week, currently on Netflix Instant. Thriller, Eden. A soccer team flying home after a game has one of their engines go out and they crash into the ocean. The survivors are the members of the team and they swim to a nearby island. Unfortunately, it isn't a Gilligan's Island type of thing. It's an island where there's basically nothing on it. So the only thing that they have are the supplies that they can pull from the wreckage of the plane. It kind of turns into a bit of a Lord of the Flies type thing where you have two leaders of the team who kind of turn against each other, and they're trying to get different survivors to back them. I liked it. I thought the way they did it was good. I did think that things maybe devolved a little too quickly, but I've never been in that kind of situation and hope to never be. So you never know when you're seeing your friends and family dying violently in front of you. That could do a lot to change your perspective on things. Comedy, Clueless, the movie that put Alicia Silverstone on the map. This was directed by Amy Heckerling, who did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is one of the quintessential teenage coming-of-age comedies. And Clueless is not as good as Fast Times, but it is a very 90s teenage comedy. I think that more people that were born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s, they might gravitate more towards Clueless being the movie that's for them, whereas Fast Times was more kids that were born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s. It showed the silly side of the commercialism of the 90s and just how things kind of were back then. It's very much a time capsule. That and Hackers, I think, are the two. Like, if you wanted to show somebody what it was like to live in the 90s, you show them Clueless and you show them Hackers, and you're like, yeah, it was pretty much that. Action, Paycheck. Based off a Philip K. Dick short story and directed by John Woo. This was a movie that really came in under the radar. Ben Affleck is this genius engineer, and he's got this contract where he's going to make a whole lot of money. He, of course, gets double-crossed and triple-crossed and is trying to figure out what this whole thing's about. I think that what happened was at the time when it came out, Ben Affleck was in the process of rebuilding his career after that whole Bennifer nonsense, and it's a shame. This movie deserved a lot more attention. Fantasy comedy, Vampire Academy. I was genuinely surprised by this because after Twilight, we've had so many young adult novelizations that have been turned into movies, and the majority of them were specifically aimed at their demographic. And I am not that demographic, so most of them I was not particularly fond of. But that's fine. They weren't aimed at me. So this one, I don't know how well it stuck close to the book, but it did appeal to me. It appealed to me very much. I was shocked. The best way to describe this is a mixture of a vampire movie with Clueless. It has that kind of Spitfire snarky sense of humor that really worked. It's about a vampire academy where a bunch of girls are going to school, and yes, they're vampires, but it's not as corny as it sounds. It actually, I don't know, it worked. It revolves mostly around Rose Hathaway, who is a Dhampir, which is what Blade was. Half human, half vampire. I think what happened with this was the ad campaign just focused on all the wrong things. It made it look bad. But seriously, it was way better than I expected. It did not feel like a PG-13 movie at all. It actually made me want to go read the books. Don't let the young adult tag scare you off. This does not feel like a young adult movie. That's all I got for this week. I'll see you next time.